agenda, is that all right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I understand it. Okay, I think we can get started. I'd like to call this meeting the regular meeting of Granby Town Board. Call it to order and begin with a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would ask the clerk, please call the roll.
Supervisor Hawthorne?
Here.
Counselor Anthony? Here. Counselor Greco?
Here.
Counselor Haggerty?
Here.
Counselor Arnold?
Here.
Highway Superintendent Moyer?
Here.
Budget Director Lyman?
Here.
And Deputy Supervisor Alpinowski.
Thank you. We've had two previous meetings that you have the minutes for. Have you had a chance to read them? I'd like a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes and to accept them as written. That would be August 9th and August 23rd.
Make a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes of the previous meetings and accept them as written for August 9th and August 23rd, 2000.
All right, can I have a second to that motion?
I'll second it.
That motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
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 I had, didn't want to have that sheet with all of that.
Okay. I received a letter. This is dated August 23rd. Dear Ms. Hawthorne, thank you for your letter of August 22nd and the response to you from Mr. D. Hollander regarding your correspondence with him. We wish to thank you and the town board for the concern and prompt action that was instituted on behalf of the residents of Dan Road. The county acted promptly to our concerns, and while their efforts did not eliminate the problem completely, there was improvement in the number of floaters that had attached themselves to the shoreline. Be assured that the three of us will be happy to participate in any way that is appropriate toward a solution to the weed problem. With things that go on in Washington, it is easy to become cynical about government. It is good to know that on the local level, town and county government are responsive to the needs of citizens. Sincerely yours. This is Lawrence T. Hosey, Ronald Dexter, and Bruce Lermont. All of Dan Road. They are the gentlemen that were here a month ago, and I really appreciate the letter. We hear a lot of complaints, but we don't often hear something a little more positive, and I really appreciate that. We did, as you know, I gave you copies of the letter that I sent to John D. Hollander. I also had a discussion with him in person, and he explained it. And
I made a copy of the paper, and I hand-delivered Dan Road myself to everyone down on Dan Road, and they all really appreciated it. I went the whole... Yeah, it was okay. I talked to them all, and they were happy.
so I think, like he says, it's been addressed as well as it can be, I guess, at this particular point.
They were very surprised to hear that Phoenix, they're floating down, it's not
From
just...
farther up.
Yes, they were very... It wasn't all
From Ox Creek.
our fault, and it was nice talking to them.
Yes. Okay. There is voter registration scheduled, and I want to make this very clear. The registration will be held right here in this room, here at the town hall. The registration is for all residents of the town, so even those who vote at Cody Fire Hall or Granby Center Fire Hall or over at the community center, they would all come here for the registration. And this is for people who are unregistered or want to come in and become new voters. Or I guess it would be changes probably in registration. Now that is Saturday, October 7th from 2 to 9 p.m. and Wednesday, October 11th from 1 to 4:30 p.m. Okay. In old business, I see Mr. Stewart is here. We don't have anything new to report. I sent your petition to our attorney. He hasn't got back to me yet. He hasn't forgotten you, though.
It's getting that time of year.
Right.
Real nice.
Right. Mr. Stewart is the gentleman that brought the petition last month on the light at the end of Lake Shore Road, so
Right.
nothing, I just wanted to let you know.
Thank you.
Okay. There will be a public hearing at the next meeting, on 2 weeks from tonight, Wednesday, September 27th at 7 p.m. And this is what we've been talking about for several meetings, some potential changes to the zoning law in regards to mobile homes. And we'll review after considerable discussion. This will not involve a change, limit to the age of mobile homes. We are not using a particular year or age. We're not changing that. It will remain at 20 years. We would change the square footage, and it would meet the minimum square footage requirement would be 924 square foot. That would accommodate a 14 by 70. The roof would be pitched. Now, the wording on this may change some when it comes back from the attorney, but essentially this is what
The roof will be changed.
would be a pitched roof,
I'd like you to
which
hold,
almost all of them are.
well, I'd like you to hold off on that until, I think there's other,
Well, let's keep it in there and then go to the public hearing, and then if we want to change it, we can.
the roof.
Actually,
I don't mean flat, but there's other types of roofs going
Right, and-
onto the newer mobiles.
Essentially, when I talked to our attorney, he said they all have some pitch. So it's not we're not specifying it has to be a certain pitch.
All right, because the newer mobile homes are going with different types of roofs. I mean, they're not flat, but they're different
Yeah.
types of roofs.
But that would still be pitched. It would have some slope to it. And of a material commonly used in residential construction. Exterior siding would be of a type commonly used in residential construction. This is wording that is taken from a recommended ordinance from the Manufactured Housing Association. All towing devices, wheels, axles, hitches to be removed. The material used to skirt the house must simulate the look of block, brick, stone, be of that material, or be of a vinyl as approved or recommended for mobile home skirting. One word that our attorney said we should skip the word et cetera. That's kind of a loose-ended, anything goes. That was in the wording as it came from the recommended wording, but it doesn't make sense to put that word in there. And also, and we're not quite sure how this would read, but there is something of a loophole in our current zoning that does not prohibit someone from taking an empty mobile home and just plunking it on any given piece of land, or 2 or 3 or 4, or whatever. And I don't think that's what was intended. So, something to the effect that no mobile would be allowed in the town without being legally permitted. We said as a residence. Now I'd like to clarify this because, got thinking about it, we might allow them for a commercial purpose, for a business office, for instance. So what should we maybe change that wording and leave out that word residence.
Maybe occupancy or something like that would be
Yeah.
a better word.
I told him to work on that, but I just want to make sure that we're in agreement of what we're, because I got thinking about special,
They're not storage buildings.
right, sometimes people use it, say a double wide for a business office or something, and we're not trying to prohibit that.
Certainly not.
So if we said residence, it basically would. Is that okay? He's going to
Yes.
finish up the wording.
Yes, because Mr. Hoffman is putting in an office up here, and he's using a mobile home as an office.
Yes, that happened, that's fairly common. And we didn't really have any intention to prohibit that. But what we did intend is to prohibit someone just setting it there without setting it up and getting a permit and using it.
Maybe just non-permitted use? I mean, if they're going to set up an office or something similar to that, they would still have to have a building permit to do that.
Yeah, I'll think about, I told him to think about the wording on that, but I think he understands better what we're looking for on that. Okay, so that hearing is 2 weeks from tonight at 7. And it will be followed by our,
That was all the changes, that's it?
that's it, very modest. But I think will be a good step in the right direction.
Well, you were talking about that roof. I think what we were mentioning pitch, but we're talking about shingle-type roof rather than...
I used the wording that we came up with that night.
Because you have, some of them are coming out with the steel roofs, like how...
Why do you're not saying they have to
I
be
didn't see
shingled, are you?
We left that word out. Remember
Okay.
that was in the original?
Okay, because a lot of the new roofs are going,
Yeah, well, we said,
right,
but it's a type that is,
as long as it's pitched and it's manufactured and all that, it's not a flat tin.
Right.
we said that one
Pitched roof.
has a type of material commonly used in residential construction. So, okay. Moving on. New business, we have, I need a motion to advertise for the position on the Assessment Board of Review. This comes every fall. We have to appoint or reappoint someone. The expiring term this time is Henry Hudson's, but it is our policy to put an ad in the paper to let people know that appointment is coming up if someone else is interested. So I would ask for a motion to authorize the clerk to put that ad in the paper.
Also moved we advertise for that position.
In a second.
I'll second it.
Luther, you call the roll on that?
Counselor Anthony?
Yes.
Counselor Greco?
Yes.
Supervisor Hawthorne?
Yes.
Counselor Haggerty?
Yes.
Counselor Arnold?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That the term expires on September 30th, so if we get it appointed by the first meeting in October, I'm sure that will be fine. And it is my understanding Mr. Hudson is interested in being reappointed. Vince, you indicated to me you had some
Well, I discussed with
quotes.
Gerald Dennison's construction back in the early part of the year. I told him towards the end of the year because the weather's been so bad, he would all summer long. We got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got about 8 to 10 repairs. So what he come up with roughly $494 on material, and he's talking about a day's worth of labor. Because it's very hard to estimate because some of it he's got to put up staging. And he says, you're talking about just time and labor. I got to put staging up, fix the blocks, take staging down. So he's got more labor involved than he has material in that case. And then we've been discussing for the last couple of years of building a gable over this roof on the front end. And it's going to be roughly 14 feet by 4 feet high. And estimated with time and material, he's talking about $2,000. So we'll be spending somewhere between, if you do that, between $2,000 and around 2,500, maybe close to 3,000 really, because he's taking material for 500, so another for labor too. About $3,000 ballpark figure.
And that would do the gable, and what were the other repairs?
Well, he's talking, if he works 8 hours, that'd be another $400 added on to that, so you're talking $900 right there. If I add 400 to that 494.
What's he going to do besides the gable?
Go around and fix all these things that are, and the insurance company complained about the roof, the shingles coming off, so he's going to do repair on the roof, repair some broken cement blocks that are on the building, repair some flashing, go over there, the flashing, we had the highway department last year. Lynn had his men go over and fix the flash on the community center, and came down again, so we're going to have to just take it out and put some proper, redo it. So we're roughly talking, about because you got to add on labor. Say $3,000 roughly, count everything. To be on the safe side, I'd rather go over a little than under a little.
How big is the roof over the door?
He's got down here 14 wide by 4 feet high, and he's got it, drawn in. He cuts it into the existing roof. You know what I'm referring to, right, Dave? Mm-hmm. You do a little picture here.
Isn't that a little expensive, Dave? You're a carpenter. Isn't that a little expensive for all this pitch and patch here and patch there?
Well, I was a little surprised at the size of it, I guess, for what we're looking at. I mean, we can certainly, this was just an estimate that Vince asked for, and that's what was estimated. The guy come and measured it, and it does seem, rather large. For what we were trying to accomplish is just keeping the water off people coming in and out of the...
Well, I guess his idea was in order to divert it. You know how you're being in the business yourself. To divert it, you want it so wide to get it to direct to make your valleys and so on. He explained it all to me, and it sounded logical. Of course, he's done work for the town before, and we've been very satisfied with his work. But if the board doesn't want to go ahead and do that gable front, that's fine.
Oh, you need it.
I want to do the repairs that have been put off, because what we're trying to do, the roof shouldn't be in the shape it's in. It's only approximately 8 years old. It wasn't done right 8 years ago. So we're just going to patch it up and hope we get along for another few years, and down the road eventually you're going to have to replace the roof anyways. And then we got all these other things that I was walking around. I didn't show them all to you, but some of them. So he's just roughly saying $500 worth of material and roughly another $500 worth of labor for 2 men during the course of the day. He didn't put that, that's what he got roughly in there.
But when we said something over the door, weren't you just talking about a little pitch roof over the door so the ice doesn't form? That's all we wanted. That's all we wanted. We don't want to build an addition onto the building. All we want is a little pitch roof over the door.
Right.
We don't.
You want it to look, aesthetically you want it to look proper.
See,
you just don't want to build a little teepee there.
Rose, that's what he's trying to do, is make it look like it fits the building. You got such a massive roof there. A little thing would look,
like something you stuck up there.
Like a Band-Aid on something. So...
Well, we don't have to decide tonight.
No, we don't have to decide, and it's...
Well, we got the money in our building, in our fund to do this. This is not we're not taking on a major capital project like we did last year or a year ago when we did the community center.
We always start little, but we go big.
That's all we plan on doing. That's all we plan on doing. We went big with the community
We've done
center.
our major project for the year with the
We
tank,
did our oil separator, right? Yeah, that was one
as
of
far
them.
as the buildings.
Since you spoke about the insurance company being concerned with the roof, and that shingles are missing?
Yeah, they brought that up in a report. Nancy mentioned that to me, I think, the first part of the year. Was it this year they came up? Yeah.
Most asphalt shingles are like a 20-year warranty at a minimum.
You're correct.
If it's 8 years old and they're coming off, we should go in that direction.
Well,
we got some warranted work here.
You got a good point, but this would be a temporary patch if you're going to go, because he looked at it, he said, for now, Who knows, a few years from
He's
now.
the
you
one
go-
that installed them.
No, he didn't.
Who did?
I don't know the name of the person. Alls I know, if you want me to bring up old coals, I don't get it the
No,
names.
let's,
It wasn't installed properly. They took, instead of ripping off the old roof, they put a new roof over the old roof, and that's why you've got the problem. That's it in a nutshell. Period. And now what he wants to do is fix that one section, and until you have more severe problem, let it go. I mean, you know,
if there's,
wait, because the rest of it's good right now. You know, you just wait. I figure maybe 3-4 years you might have to worry about it.
if there's a
But
problem
right now,
with
we're
the-
just talking,
If it's a product though, Vince, if they're coming off, the fact that there's one layer over the other, that's still an accepted practice. I think we should find out the manufacturer, get them here, take
See
some
if-
pictures, send them a sample. Is the product defective? I mean, I've run into that before where, you know, if it's a defective product, that manufacturer will
Make it right.
make it right.
well,
That was what I was going to suggest.
he'll just give you so many bundles of shingles. You're still going to have to pay for the labor.
They may re-roof the thing.
I had, a lot of years ago, I had that in my own house. Guess what? They gave me the shingles. I still had to
It's worth
had to pay the
looking
guy to
into.
do
It's
it.
certainly worth pursuing, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
we ought to look at
Because-
it.
The parts that need to be fixed though are from ice damage. It's right along the eave.
Oh.
The ice pulled the shingles off.
I see. So it isn't really a product
That
problem.
part isn't. Now, if the whole roof needs replacing later on, that may be a product thing, but the ones that are missing now are a cost product.
I see. That's a whole different thing. Okay.
Thanks for refreshing my memory. I got other things on my mind. Okay, that's
Okay,
all.
we can certainly discuss this.
Well, I'd like to do just the repairs if you want to worry about doing the gable.
Well, did they want
entrance.
to do it all at once? I mean,
Well, yeah, but I just wanted to give him, when he had a chance someday to come over and do all these repairs, you know, work it in his schedule. And yeah, he probably would want to do it all at once, but I just want to get the small jobs done anyways.
this week I came across something in the file room that was a plan for that gable.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'd like to dig it out and just
Oh, look, go ahead, right, yeah.
and see what it was and who did it, and, you know, maybe that would be
Well, we can-
worth looking at.
Yeah.
I don't know why it wasn't done, but
Probably for cost at the time,
it could be.
you know. But we're in the middle of the month, we got until, you know,
Okay.
I had told him when we finally got, he's been all summer getting me this quote even.
Okay.
So I'd like to get it done in
Probably
October.
real busy right now.
Yeah. it's still pretty busy.
So you want to hold off on this?
Yeah, I'd like
Give it a
to,
little
yeah,
thought?
you can look into this
Okay.
architect thing, and we can worry about the repairs anyways.
Okay. Let us do that. Appreciate your efforts in getting as far as we've gotten there. I believe the county legislators have hosted a meeting tonight. I do have a report from the dog control officer. 55 complaints, number of dogs picked up 6, number of dogs released 6, number of dogs on hand 5. The monthly expenses were $51.96 for food and $16 for ads. The monthly mileage was $506. Impoundment fees collected $20 and adoption fees collected $20. Planning board?
I didn't make the last meeting, I know they're working on a comprehensive.
Comprehensive plan is still, and they would like any of the board members to be there. We could be at those work sessions. Yeah. So, CBA?
No applications currently pending.
No, you just took care of those two that you had, right? Yeah.
Okay. Youth program?
Do you know if he's going to have that Halloween thing this year? Do you know?
You
You haven't seen Dave?
haven't seen him, and I haven't thought to ask.
Will he be in?
We can call him. He doesn't stop
I
in.
called
just
him.
to,
I called
you
him.
know.
His phone's always busy. Saturday I was on there all day trying to get a hold of him. Last year we went to that
We had a good time.
Halloween bus at night. I was wondering,
I don't know.
as far as the youth program, I think we're done.
Okay.
And the trip to Thousand Island was fantastic.
Yeah.
We had 44 people, and it was great. It was the first time we ever took the kids so far away. I hope next summer it'll happen again.
Okay.
It was great.
Very good. I know there's a lot of interest among the parents.
No trouble, they all behaved, and
Super. All right.
I'd like to know about the, about
Yeah,
the
let me,
Halloween.
See, it seems like he would have put it on the schedule if
I
we
never
were going to
could
do
get
it.
him.
It's,
Does he ever call you, Dave?
stops in if he has a particular reason to. But,
Yeah, I'd like to know, because as soon as I hear, I start passing the word around for all the kids that want to go to that Trail of Horrors, is it up in Volney?
Up and around, yeah.
something like that. Trail of Terror.
So, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, okay.
Well, okay, we'll check on it.
All right, thanks.
Highway Superintendent.
Well, we hauled some limestone from Butler Quarry to the garage. We stockpiled there for projects later on, either this fall or next year. It's a good thing to, we get an earlier rainy day where we can't do much else. That's a good thing to do. We hauled gravel from the town's gravel bed on Stony Robbie up to Snug Harbor Road. And so that road is pretty much gravelled. We put crushed run limestone on top of it. So we're going to leave it at that for the winter, see how it survives, and if everything looks good, we'll put the top on it in the spring. Did some ditching and drainage work on Stony Robbie, Russell, and Snug Harbor roads. Continued the roadside mowing and swept the roads where the debris was washed out by the rainstorms we've had. We finished paving Sharp Road. We started some of that last year, finished that, and we did Russell Road too. We did that with some of our CHIPS money. That's money we get from the state that they give us for capital projects for improving the roads, and projects are expected to have a life expectancy of about 10 years. So this year we used the money to do those two roads plus Doolittle and 5th Street. We paved those earlier. We cut brush on the bridge over Tannery Creek on Old State Road. Picked up some furniture dumped on Hanley Road and a deer carcass on Merritt Road. Started cutting some trees. We did some on Sharp and Cole Road. I have probably about 15, 16 other trees that I need the county bucket truck to top them out so we can finish taking them down. So we're just waiting till I can get the truck in here and we'll start that process. And by the end of the month, we'll start hauling sand for winter use and get that piled and mixed with the salt. The only other thing I have is the application for the salt storage building that we're going to apply for a grant. All the information from our end has been turned over to John DeHollander at County Soil and Water, so he has everything. He's going to put the application together and expect to hear from him soon. So.
Okay, thank you. In terms of finance and the budget, we're just getting into the budget process and have submitted or passed out budget requests to all the department heads, and most of them have come back, and by the end of this month we'll have the tentative budget ready, which is just nothing but a wish list. And so we need to start. Next month is our busy month for budget meetings. I wondered if we could have a budget meeting on the, since we're used to coming on Wednesdays, maybe the 4th of October could have the first meeting. Another reason another thing I'd like to do that night, we have not yet had the department meeting with the justices. And if I can get them both here. I did talk to Judge Winkworth. He said that he should be able to be here on that day. So we could have the department meeting and then get into our budget workshop and take care of both at one night. I think probably 2 nights we'll be able to wrap it up pretty well.
Plan October the 4th.
October 4th for the first one? Okay.
What time is that?
We should start at 7 probably. There's no sense in starting any later. Can you make it 7? Okay. Lynn, would that work for you? You wouldn't have to be at both meetings, but one meeting at least, the highway.
That should be fine.
Okay. Okay, we'll get that done and have our preliminary done by the end of October. I don't have anything from code enforcement. I did go to a budget training workshop last week and picked up a couple of new thoughts, but it was a good review of the whole process. Okay, anything else, Rose?
No.
Vince?
No,
Dave?
No, I don't have anything from the building codes people. Out of the ordinary.
Okay, Rick?
Nope.
Okay. I do need a resolution to transfer $100 from account number 3120.2 police equipment to 3120.4 contractual. It's just constable's lines, and I just need to move some money from one to the other.
And I'll make a resolution to transfer $100 from the account number 3120.2A police equipment to 3120.4A police contractual.
Is there a second to that?
I'll second it.
Can you call the roll on that?
Counselor Anthony? Yes. Counselor Greco?
Yes.
Supervisor Hawthorne?
Yes.
Counselor Haggerty?
Yes.
Counselor Arnold?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm leading a motion to approve payment of the town bills as prepared for abstract 9A.
I'll make a motion to approve the payment of town bills as prepared for abstract 9A-00 in the amounts of $6,400.51 from the general fund, $64,202.47 from the highway fund, and $78.04 from the Willow Bob Blading Fund.
All right, I'll second it.
Okay, and that 64,000 is primarily the paving that he was just talking about, on Russell Road and Sharp Road. And you did second it? Call the roll on that one, Ruth?
Counselor Anthony?
Yes.
Counselor Greco?
Yes.
Supervisor Hawthorne?
Yes.
Counselor Haggerty?
Yes.
Counselor Arnold?
Yes.
One thing I did want to mention, I didn't put it on the agenda because I thought he might be here tonight. Mr. Phillips, I think I put a copy of his letter to you. I did meet with him yesterday, and I think we're making some progress in terms of his concerns. Some of them are past problems that just we cannot fix anything that wasn't done right before, or
Were you able to help him?
I think so. We're
It's been
working
so
at it.
long with that
It's been a
man.
long time, and so I wrote him and said, let's set up an appointment. We'll sit down together, and we did so yesterday. And I think we're making some progress. There are some changes I think we can make in properties that are not being assessed for enough units. But some of the other concerns as far as making people pay for way back when, it's just you can't do that. So I'm glad we're making some progress, because I don't want to hear about this anymore. Please,
going on
it's been years.
10 years.
Yeah.
You're going to have who's going to look into that? Well, he says it's supposed to be on. The code?
Well, I'm collecting the data on that.
No, but I mean, who goes out and inspects that? The code enforcement officer?
Well, in at least one of those cases, there will be a fire inspection
Okay,
next
'cause
week.
I know that's
so-
one of the pieces of property.
That will be one way of collecting the information. But I looked in the assessor's files and so forth. We're just getting enough documentation. I don't want to go ahead and tell the assessors this is what it should be until I know that it's correct.
I
I also
Anything to
sent
make
his
him
letter to our
happy.
attorney
Gosh.
in case he had any thoughts on the matter. But I'm quite sure that I discussed it with him some time ago, and he said these old things from years back, that there's nothing we can do.
His concern is that there are people that are in the water district as it's drawn up that are getting free water. Is that his?
Well, they're not
concern?
getting free water, but they're not being taxed for enough units.
Oh, I see. Buildings that are converted
Right.
from one family to
Yeah.
multiple family?
One of them is apparently 3 apartments plus an office, and plus there's a mobile home next door. I would say that's 5 units, according to the way it was set up. Each of those would be a unit.
I see.
So, and it's only being taxed for 3. So, can't go back and tack on what wasn't done before.
Well, I remember when that family came to the ZBA to put all those families in that house. They said they weren't allowed to, and again,
Well, apparently they were allowed
was going to
3.
be in office, and our zoning law says you can't even have 2 families, and they got 3 families plus an office in that one house.
The only thing I saw was a letter from our codes officer some years ago that said they're in violation because they had more than 3.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
we do
I
nothing
can't
about it.
correct problems from before. In most cases. But I did want to let you know and bring you up to date on that. See what we can do.
Well, I think if we straighten out those couple
We
pieces of
do what we
property,
can do,
it'll help,
and the rest I just, you'd like to tell people what they'd like to hear, but it doesn't always work. Next meetings are
27th, right?
27th is the public hearing, the work session, and our next regular meeting is October 11th.
Let's see,
Public comment.
where do we got that written down? You have it.
Back.
Oh, I'm gonna turn it over. Oh,
Would anyone like to, yes, sir.
I'd like to ask Mr. Greco if he could explain a little bit what he was referring to in regards to real problem of laying one roof over another.
I'm just going by my own personal experience. It happened to me a lot of years ago in my own home. The guy put a roof over it. We had ice backup problems. It was just a disaster. So when it finally got done, I can't remember years later, and we stripped it all the way down and fixed it right. That eliminated the problem.
They never took the old shingles off, you're saying?
And most contractors I've ever done business with don't agree with putting a new roof over an old roof. They claim you're asking for trouble. And if you see people, I've seen a lot of roofs in the last few weeks going up in Fulton, and I see every one of the contractors tearing all the shingles off. So that's what happened here 8 years ago.
How long ago did your problem exist?
I'm just going to guess,
Personal problem.
probably over 20 years ago.
How long?
Over 20 years ago, when I had a roof put on and they did a bad job. Had a bad contractor, period.
Who represented the town of Granby when this one was put on?
Who was representing the town of Granby?
The building and repairs and so on. Who made the deal for the roof this time?
All right, I can't swear on oath. I know at the present time that took place, Mr. Best was the supervisor.
I know that, but who done the negotiating with the roofers?
Again, I don't know that. I know who was supposed to had a bid on the job, and then he got turned off. Somebody else come along and quoted they're going to do it for less money after one person was allowed to do the job.
You was the speaker.
No, it wasn't.
Well, at any rate,
I had nothing to do with it. Jim Best did at the time.
at any rate, if we hired the town,
You did it.
all
No, I
right, that's
didn't.
enough. That's enough.
No, he's wrong.
Okay.
The bid was put out by Mr. Dennison. Lance Knapp was on the board at that present time. He was in charge of the buildings. The bid was accepted by the board to go to Judd Dennison.
It was accepted by the board. My question was, who was a negotiator for the board in the position that you're in today?
Lance Knapp was the building guy at that time, taking care of grounds and buildings. Lance Knapp was on the board.
The point of it is that whoever I graciously, these people graciously agreed to do the fact-finding and collect information
It was
and go
a
get
job.
quotes and stuff, which is a
Yeah,
big
but he didn't
job.
do the job.
And they are not solely responsible for the results of that job. It's the whole board, if anyone.
But I want to refresh his memory because I found out a day late in a dollar shot what happened. Judd was not told to do the job. It was given to some friends of people, and that's the kind of job they got.
It's past history. Let's move on.
Right, nothing you can do about it.
Okay, Vince.
That's what happened.
Is it over this roof right here?
No, a garage, town garage fire.
I see.
Anyone else?
He's probably thinking that Judd did this one.
Yes.
If not, let's have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second it?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.